This is a 270 Short Mag. According to the reloading manuals, it should only stabilize a 150 grain bullet. I made a video where I used 165 grain Accubon long range, and it had no issues and stabilized it just fine. I made a video where I shot 170 grain Nosler ballistic tip, no issues, and it stabilized it just fine. Today we're going to push it to the extreme. 175 grain Sierra tipped Gameking bullet. The longest and heaviest bullet yet. And we're shooting it in 30-degree weather today versus temperatures up in the 60s. This should be the ultimate test to see if this cartridge can stabilize the heaviest bullets. And then we're going to go to the other extreme and shoot an 85 grain Barnes TSX flat base. See how fast we can get it to going. Stay tuned. All right, out here with the 270 Short Mag. Here's the bullets we're going to be shooting. The 175 grain Sierra tipped Gameking. And on the other end of the spectrum, the 85 grain Barnes TSX flat base. All right, we may have reached our instability. I'm not sure. I'll show you here in a second, but the only bullet hole I could find was like a foot away from where I was shooting. It does not look like a good circle. I'll just go ahead and show it to you. So I'm aiming there, and I'm thinking, where did I hit? But I just put this piece of paper there, so that had to have been the shot. Now, I shot twice, and the other one, I don't know where it's at. But that is clearly a key-shaped hole. Unless there's two in the same hole, but I don't think so. I think that thing was unstable. So let's shoot a little bit more and see what happens. All right, this time I shot a little bit bigger target to make sure that it didn't get off paper. And it clearly is unstable and is slinging them all over the place. So we'll go down here and look at this. Hey, this is what you call a result. It's kind of cool. So I will show you the paper. All right. Aiming right here in the middle. I just wanted to make sure I got it on paper. And there's one, there's two, there's three. So yeah, unstable. I basically took the Lyman 51st manual that just came out that had 6.8 Western info, and I just copied that over to the 270 Short Mag. Started pretty conservative. Didn't expect it to be very good velocity. So hey, good news is there is a reason for the existence of the 6.8 Western. But so I'm gonna shoot my last two groups, and this is something else that we can test. On the Hornady podcast, it says the faster you get, the more unstable it would be. It's not going to get any better by going faster. And they use the reference like if you have a tire that's out of balance, the faster you go, the more you'll be able to notice it. But I know a lot of people, including myself years ago, thought the faster the better, but there's a difference between the RPMs and the velocity. So in theory, it should not get better. If anything, it should get worse. So let's just see what happens when I go up a little bit more on the powder and see if it changes, gets better or worse. Let's test it out. All right, shoot another 3-shot group. If you can tell, that is at the absolute limits of the magazine, but it still works. Sometimes you just have to know things. You got to find out for yourself. I just wanted to know because every bullet I'd tried that supposedly wouldn't work kept working, so I had to push the limits and find out for myself. But hey, I can tell you on a 30-degree day at 1,400 feet with a 175 grain bullet out of a 270 short mag, it will not stabilize. One thing that's interesting, if you've noticed, the velocities they're not moving. I've went up 2 different times in powder charges. It hasn't done anything. It's exactly the same velocity. Kind of interesting. So I shot here, and I have no idea. It didn't hit the paper anywhere. So then I moved down here, and I shot, and it hit right there. See, there's the first 3 down here. Hit right there. Obviously keyholed. And then the third shot hit there. Based on that, I don't know. I have no idea where that first shot went, but so two here and then 1 probably off to the left. Let's shoot the last group and see if there's any change in velocity and any change in group size. I doubt it. So finally we got a little bit of jump in velocity. It's kind of weird how I didn't before, but I finally got a little jump, not much. I'm not going to calculate it, but if you look at the numbers, the SD and extreme spread were really good across the board, but that doesn't mean anything. But anyway, this has been fun. If you've never seen what it looks like when a bullet's unstable, you're getting to see it today, so that's pretty cool. So, anybody want to buy some 175 grain Sierra Gameking bullets? Because I don't need them anymore. I have to pay like $60 for these things, so things I do for a video, right? Hey, this was fun though. I enjoyed it. Let's go down here and look at these last 3. All right, they had consistently been going down and left, so I aimed here. I know that was the first one right there. That is the second one. I saw that pop up. That was just a shard. That's the second one. And guess where the third one is? Your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea. Let's shoot these 85 grain. I know that they're going to stabilize. Let's shoot the 85 grain. Let's see what kind of velocity we get. I'm using IMR 4350 again. This is actually out of the Barnes manual. It has a load for the 270 short mag on their online site. IMR 4350 on their website's not the top dog for velocity. In fact, it's on the lower end, but it's the only one I had. So let's test the other extreme of the 270 WSM, a super lightweight bullet, screaming. Let's see how fast we can get it to go and see if it groups at all. This will be fun. So I shot 2 at the lowest powder charge just to make sure it was safe and everything. Everything was good. Bumped it up by a full grain, which is about a half grain under max. The first load was about 1.5 grains under max. This one was a half grain under max. Shot a 3-shot group, so total of 5 rounds. Let's go down here and look at them. All right, those first 2 I shot, aiming right here. Hit right there, about a 1/2 inch apart. And then the last 3 I shot, about 1 inch apart. Those 2 had a little bit over 3,600. These 3 together had around 3,650. So we will shoot the next 2 groups. The next group is max, so let's see what it does. So you saw the velocity of that last group, and I'll put the SD and everything on the screen. I'm not going to walk down there. I'm going to go ahead and shoot the last 3. You see there's a lot more room in the magazine. Shoot these last 3, but this is a 1/2 grain overmax with IMR 4350. See how it does. All right, didn't quite get to 3,800 like I was hoping. Got to 3750 though, pretty good. 3750 is pretty fast, so that's pretty cool. And like I said earlier, IMR 4350 is like on the low end in the book. Something like Hunter was getting close to 3900. So with a different powder, you could probably get a lot more, but let's see what the groups look like. The max load was right there, about inch and a quarter group probably. And then I shot my last group over here. This was the half grain over max. It was probably inch and a half group. So groups were okay, you know, that one, that one, that one, that one. All right, so overall, this was just a fun video to just test some things out and see how far I could push a 270 short mag. I think you could easily get 3,800 feet per second with a different powder. And even though I've tested 170 grain bullet, I can't do 175. But hey, it was fun just to test it out. But the 270 short mag, or any really 270 with a 1 in 10 twist, is a lot more versatile than we've thought. So pretty cool. It was neat to kind of go to the extreme and push it till it just keep pushing it until it wouldn't work anymore. Had a good time. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment below what you thought of the test or what your thoughts are on the 270 short mag. I'm definitely going to go back to that 165 grain Accubon long range. It shot really good. And I'm going to test it more with H1000. I've been using MagPro or IMR 4350 on all of my 270 short mag loads, but I've recently got some H1000. So I'm going to get that, give it a test, and I'm going to come up with a really good hunting load that I could, you know, use for elk, deer, whatever. So, but we will go ahead and stop it there, and hopefully you have a great day. And until next time, take care.